Hello everyone, welcome back to Olsen Cafe. Now today let us solve this equation and review another mistake that most students make. Now when looking at this equation, many will immediately think of changing everything to tangent, right? The moment that they see that there are two functions within the same equation. Are you thinking of the same approach as well? So, will it really work by changing to tangent over here in this equation? Well, the answer is no. So let me show you why tangent fails, all right, in this case. Now, so in order for us to change to tangent, all right, what we will need to do is we will need to divide both sides of the equation, all right, by cosine. Now, when this happens, so what I'm going to have is, right, I will get 10 plus 5 sine theta over cosine theta, and then the right hand side I will get 6 over cosine theta. Now when I change this, all right, this will give me 10 plus 5 tangent theta and equals to 6 secant theta. Now what you realize is, what am I going to do here? Because on the left side of the equation, yes, I do have tangent, but you notice that on the right hand side there is a secant theta. So again, I still have two functions, all right, instead of only one. So how am I going to deal with such case? Yeah. So therefore, all right, over here, you realize that, tangent, right, still doesn't work over here because, all right, on the right-hand side of the equation, it is actually a number, a constant there is a 6. Yeah. So we will not be able to change it to tangent. So we do have to take note and bear in mind that we can only use tangent if, right, the right hand side of the equation is 0. Right? So over here in this case, if I'm going to change it to tangent, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by cosine theta. So I will get 10 plus 5 sine theta over cosine theta, and then this will give me 5 tangent theta is equals to negative 10. So I simply rearrange this and simplify. I will eventually get tangent theta equals to negative 2. So once I arrive this, I only have the equation dealing with one function, which is tangent. And hence, I will be able to solve the equations from here onwards. Now let's go back to this equation. Now what works then? All right, how can we solve this equation? All right, when there is a constant on the right hand side, all right, if tangent doesn't work over here. All right, so this is when we need to apply our formula. All right, and it is key that you must be able to identify which method to apply when dealing with trigo equations. Right, I have earlier prepared a video on our formula. So if you have not watched it yet, right, you may want to check it out. So I have included the link in the description below. So let's proceed. Yeah, so to change to our formula, all right, what we will need to take note will be, we will need to take note of the function at the start of the equation. And the other thing that I will need to take note, it will be the sign. So in this case, the sign here is plus. So to change it to our formula, what I will get will be r cosine theta, all right, minus alpha. So since, right, the start of the function is cosine, so therefore I will change it to a cosine as well. And for our formula involving cosine, what I'll have here is, if the sign here is a plus, and then the sign within the bracket, it has to be the opposite, so which is minus. Now, so once we have this, then we can proceed to find the unknown over here for our formula. So the unknowns are namely r and alpha. Yeah, so what I want to find is, I want to find r. So to find r, I will need to identify the coefficient, right? Coefficient of cosine theta and coefficient of sine theta, which is a and b respectively. So to find r, right, it simply equals to square root of a squared plus b squared. So in this case, I work it out. I will simply have square root of 125, and I simplify this third, I will get 5 times root 5. Now, for those of you, if you're still not familiar how to simplify third, right, what you need to do is to simply rewrite the third, all right, into a multiplication or product of a perfect square number, all right, times by another number. All right, so with this, that is how I derive 5 root 5. So with this, I have R. So what I want to do is I want to proceed to find out what is alpha. And what is alpha? Alpha is simply equals to, all right, tangent inverse of B over A. All right, so with this, all right, I use a calculator, I will be able to get the answer, which is equal to 26.565 degrees. Do take note, because we want to solve the equation. So over here, we do not round off to 1 decimal place yet. Yeah, so I will have this. So once I have, all right, derived the value of R and alpha, I can conclude, all right, my expression for R formula, it is simply 5 root 5 cosine theta minus 26.565 degrees and equals to 6. When we have this, we are ready to solve the equation. Now that we have formed our formula, so we are ready to solve this equation. So to make the entire equation simpler, I'm going to set the range for theta. Right? So let's take the range as theta to be acute. All right, that is from 0 to 90 degrees. All right, so I only need to find the first quadrant angle. All right, so with this, let me just put this together. So we have already formed our formula, so which is 5 root 5 cosine theta minus 26.565 degrees and equals to 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this equation. So this will give us cosine, all right, theta minus 26.565 degrees equals to 6 divided by 5 root 5. So with this, I key into calculator. I know that, all right, the value here is 0.53666. Right? If you want, you can actually sub this into the calculator, all right, the exact value. Right, so with this, I'm going to key into the calculator. So to get the angle, I will get inverse cosine, all right, of this value. All right, because since I'm only interested in the first quadrant answer, you notice over here I'm not going to find the basic angle. All right, so I will just simply get the answer straight away. So with this, I'm able to get the angle theta eventually. All right, we'll get 57.543. This will be the result of cosine inverse. And then I bring the 26.565 to the right hand side. I plus this and I combine these together and I will get 84.1 degrees. So this will be your final answer for theta, which is 84.1. Right? So I hope that you do identify, all right, the method over here. So do bear in mind, all right, if the right hand side, all right, is not a 0, then in this case you can never change it to tangent. Just remember, all right, to change it to tangent, the right hand side of the value, it has to be 0. So as long as it is any other value except 0, right, you will have to apply our formula. Right, so I hope you find this tip useful. Thank you for watching. So hope you find this video useful. Do like and subscribe if this helped you and share it with your friends. All right, I will see you in the next video. Bye.